Story number 1: The Shadows of Villisca. In the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, a white frame house on 2nd Street holds secrets darker than the blackest night. On June 10, 1912, this unassuming dwelling became the stage for one of America's most infamous unsolved crimes, a brutal axe murder that claimed 8 lives and left a community forever scarred. The victims were the Moore family, Josiah, his wife Sarah, and their 4 children, along with 2 young guests, Lena and Ina Stillinger. They were found in their beds, their skulls crushed by an axe left at the scene. The killer had covered the victims' faces with bedsheets and the mirrors in the house with cloth, adding an eerie ritualistic element to the already horrific crime. Despite an extensive investigation that produced several suspects, including a traveling minister and a suspected serial killer, no one was ever convicted. The case went cold, but the echoes of that terrible night never faded. For decades, the house stood as a silent reminder of the tragedy. Families came and went, but none stayed long. Whispers of strange occurrences, unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, shadowy figures glimpsed in windows, circulated through town. The Moore house became a local legend, a place where children dared each other to approach on dark nights. In 1994, Darwin and Martha Lynn purchased the property with a vision to restore it to its 1912 condition and open it to the public. They saw it not just as a piece of dark history, but as a way to honor the victims and keep their memory alive. The Villisca Axe Murder House, as it came to be known, quickly gained a reputation as one of America's most haunted locations. Paranormal investigators flocked to the site, armed with EMF meters and night vision cameras. Many reported unusual experiences: the laughter of children when no one was there, the sensation of being watched, unexplained cold spots, and even the apparition of a man wielding an axe. For $428 a night, thrill seekers could rent the entire house, sleeping in the very rooms where the murders took place. It became a macabre tourist attraction, drawing visitors from across the country who sought to test their courage against the house's dark reputation. But on November 7, 2014, the line between ghost hunting and real-life horror blurred in a shocking incident. Robert Stephen Larson Jr., a 37-year-old paranormal enthusiast from Wisconsin, was conducting an overnight investigation with friends when something went terribly wrong. At approximately 12:45 a.m., chillingly close to the estimated time of the 1912 murders, Larson's companions found him with a self-inflicted stab wound to the chest. They called 911, and Larson was rushed to a nearby hospital before being airlifted to a medical center in Omaha. The incident sent shockwaves through the paranormal community. What had happened in those dark rooms to drive a man to such an act? Larson survived but never spoke publicly about his experience, leaving others to speculate about what he might have encountered. For Martha Lynn, the house's owner, the event was deeply distressing. "It's publicity," she said, "but it's not exactly the kind of publicity you desire to have. I don't want people thinking that when they come to the Villisca Axe Murder House something's going to happen that's going to make them do something like that." Despite the controversy, the Villisca Axe Murder House remains open for tours and overnight stays. It continues to attract a steady stream of visitors, each hoping to unravel its mysteries or perhaps experience something beyond the veil of the ordinary world. The house stands as a complex monument to a terrible crime, to the enduring human fascination with the macabre, and to the thin line between thrill-seeking and genuine danger. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the nature of evil, the possibility of an afterlife, and our own motivations for seeking out brushes with darkness. As twilight falls over Villisca, the old house on 2nd Street settles into shadows. Inside, the restored rooms wait in silence, unchanged since that fateful night over a century ago. For those who dare to spend the night, the question lingers: are the bumps in the night merely the creaks of an old house, or something more sinister? Are the shadows in the corner just tricks of the mind, or glimpses of restless spirits unable to find peace? The Villisca Axe Murder House remains a place where past and present collide, where the boundaries between this world and the next seem to blur. It serves as a somber reminder of a tragedy never solved and lives cut brutally short. But it also stands as a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the human need to confront the unknown, even at the risk of encountering genuine darkness. As long as its doors remain open, the house will continue to draw those seeking answers, thrills, or perhaps a brush with the supernatural. And in the quiet hours before dawn, when the wind whispers through the trees and shadows seem to move of their own accord, the secrets of that terrible night in 1912 remain locked away, waiting for someone to finally uncover the truth hidden in the shadows of Villisca. Story number 2: The Whispers of Hotel del Salto. Perched on the edge of a cliff overlooking the majestic Tequendama Falls, the Hotel del Salto stands as a silent sentinel to a history steeped in beauty and tragedy. Built in 1923 by the visionary architect Carlos Arturo Tapias, this Art Deco masterpiece was once the epitome of luxury, drawing Colombia's elite to its opulent halls and breathtaking vistas. As guests sipped cocktails on the terrace, gazing out at the misty falls plunging 157 meters into the gorge below, few could have imagined the dark legacy that would come to overshadow the hotel's grandeur. The name Del Salto, meaning of the leap, would prove eerily prophetic. The first whispers of tragedy came from the indigenous Muisca people, who told of their ancestors leaping from the cliffs to escape Spanish conquistadors centuries earlier. These tales of desperate flights to freedom seemed to infuse the very rocks with a sorrowful energy. As the years passed, the hotel gained a reputation not just for its luxury, but for the number of guests who chose to end their lives by jumping from its balconies. The reasons varied: failed romances, financial ruin, terminal illnesses, but the result was always the same: another soul claimed by the misty depths below. Hotel staff began to report strange occurrences. Guests would complain of hearing weeping in empty rooms or catching glimpses of figures in period dress vanishing around corners. Some claimed to feel invisible hands pushing them when they stood too close to the railings, as if the spirits of past jumpers were eager for company. By the 1950s, the hotel's dark reputation had begun to overshadow its charm. Bookings dwindled as stories of hauntings spread. The once pristine building fell into disrepair, its paint peeling and windows cracking, seeming to age under the weight of its grim history. In 1990, the hotel was forced to close its doors, abandoned to the elements and the ghosts of its past. For years, it stood empty, a decaying monument to lost dreams and tragic ends. Local teenagers dared each other to spend nights within its walls, emerging with wild tales of paranormal encounters. But the story of Hotel del Salto was far from over. In 2011, an unexpected twist of fate breathed new life into the crumbling structure. The Colombian government, recognizing the building's historical and architectural significance, partnered with a team of preservationists to restore the hotel and repurpose it as a museum. Today, the Tequendama Falls Museum of Biodiversity and Culture stands as a testament to both human resilience and the delicate balance between nature and civilization. Its exhibits educate visitors about the rich ecosystem of the surrounding Tequendama River basin and the cultural heritage of the region. Yet, even as school groups shuffle through its renovated halls, learning about native flora and fauna, the building's tragic past refuses to be entirely erased. Visitors still report unexplained cold spots, the sensation of being watched, and occasionally, the faint sound of a scream carried on the mist from the falls. The museum staff have embraced this dual identity, offering both educational tours and after-hours ghost walks. They speak in hushed tones of La Dama de Salto, a spectral woman in a flowing white dress seen walking the balconies at night, forever searching for something, or someone, she lost long ago. Skeptics argue that the ghostly reputation is nothing more than clever marketing, a way to attract tourists to a remote location. They point out that many of the suicide stories are unverified, possibly exaggerated over time to fuel the legend. But those who have spent long nights in the building, when the mist rolls in and the roar of the falls seems to carry whispered voices, are not so quick to dismiss the stories. They speak of a palpable sadness that permeates the walls, a sense of countless tragic tales converging in one place. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, the Hotel del Salto stands as a powerful reminder of the thin line between beauty and tragedy, life and death. Its story is one of reinvention and resilience, of a place that has managed to transform its dark past into a force for education and preservation. As the sun sets over the Tequendama Falls, casting long shadows across the hotel's restored facade, visitors stand on the same spot where countless others have contemplated the abyss. But now, instead of despair, they find a renewed appreciation for the fragility of life and the enduring power of human creativity. The Hotel del Salto, once a symbol of luxury, then of tragedy, has found a new purpose. It serves as a bridge between past and present, nature and culture, the world of the living and whatever may lie beyond. And as long as the falls continue to thunder and the mist rises from the gorge, its stories, both natural and supernatural, will continue to captivate all who venture to this hauntingly beautiful corner of Colombia. Story number 3: The Enigma of Enfield. In the summer of 1973, the sleepy town of Enfield, Illinois became the epicenter of a bizarre mystery that continues to baffle cryptozoologists and paranormal enthusiasts to this day. It all began on a balmy August evening when local resident Henry McDaniel heard an unusual scratching at his front door. Expecting to find a stray animal, McDaniel was instead confronted by a sight that would forever change his life. There, illuminated by the porch light, stood a creature unlike anything he'd ever seen. Standing about 4 feet tall, it had a grotesque, otherworldly appearance, A short, stout body supported by 3 legs, stubby arms, and most disturbingly, 2 enormous pink eyes that glowed like flashlights in the darkness. Terrified, McDaniel slammed the door shut and called the police. When officers arrived, they found no trace of the creature, but discovered strange scratches on the door and a set of peculiar footprints in the yard. The prints resembled those of a dog, but with an impossible 6 toes on each foot. Word of the encounter spread quickly through Enfield, and soon other residents began reporting similar sightings. A group of teenagers claimed to have seen the creature dart across a railroad track, moving with incredible speed despite its awkward gait. A local farmer reported finding mutilated livestock, their bodies bearing wounds that defied explanation. As the summer wore on, the sightings continued, drawing the attention of reporters and paranormal investigators from across the country. The creature was dubbed the Enfield Monster, and theories about its origin ranged from escaped exotic pet to government experiment gone wrong. Some even speculated it might be an extraterrestrial visitor. McDaniel, initially reluctant to speak publicly about his experience, eventually told a reporter, "If they do find it, they will find more than one and they won't be from this planet, I can tell you that." The Illinois State Police took the report seriously enough to conduct a thorough search of the area, but found nothing conclusive. As autumn approached, the sightings gradually tapered off, leaving behind a mystery that has endured for half a century. Today, the Enfield Monster has become a part of local folklore, its legend kept alive by ghost tours and campfire stories. While skeptics dismiss the whole affair as a case of mass hysteria or an elaborate hoax, those who witnessed the creature firsthand remain convinced of what they saw. The incident left an indelible mark on Enfield, transforming it from a quiet farming community into a hotspot for cryptid enthusiasts and paranormal researchers. Every year, curious visitors flock to the town, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive monster or uncover new evidence that might finally solve the mystery. For Henry McDaniel, who passed away in 2015, the encounter remained the defining moment of his life. In his final interview, he maintained the veracity of his story, stating, "I know what I saw that night. It wasn't of this world, and I'll go to my grave believing that." As the years have passed, the legend of the Enfield Monster has only grown. It has been featured in books, documentaries, and even inspired a low-budget horror film. Yet despite all the attention, no conclusive explanation has ever been found for the strange events of that summer in 1973. The case of the Enfield Monster serves as a reminder that even in our modern, scientifically advanced world, there are still mysteries that defy easy explanation. It challenges our understanding of the natural world and forces us to confront the possibility that there might be more to reality than we can readily perceive or explain. Whether the creature was a product of overactive imaginations, a misidentified animal, or something truly otherworldly, the Enfield Monster has secured its place in the annals of American folklore. It stands as a testament to the power of the unknown to capture our collective imagination and the enduring human desire to believe in the extraordinary. As long as questions remain unanswered, the legend of the Enfield Monster will continue to intrigue and perplex, inviting each new generation to ponder the possibility that somewhere out there, in the shadows of our familiar world, strange creatures might still lurk, waiting to be discovered. If you enjoy this content and want to see more, please subscribe and turn on notifications to support the channel.